Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to another FIFA 22 video where today I'm going to be sharing with you what I think are the best custom tactics in FIFA 22. Now these are the best custom tactics in my opinion and what I personally have found to be the best this year. Now I do apologise for the last couple of days, I haven't been uploading, I've got a very bad sore throat, so it is pretty much agony to make this video, but I'm going to bang this video out for you guys because I want to help as many people as possible. So without further ado, going into that set of best custom tactics. Now, surprisingly, the formation is the 5-2-1-2. I've had massive success with this formation. Now, instantly, when people see a back five, instantly people think it is very defensive, very counter-attacking based. But the way that we play with this 5-back is so offensive. We play with it in such an attacking way that the fullbacks get forwards, the midfielders are very high, the attackers are always there. So it's a very attacking 5-back formation. And it allows me to kind of cover up some of my errors that I have in my game, and it covers them and hides them very well and allows me to play to my strengths. So now without further ado, going into those tactics. Now these are the tactics that I've been using. Now this weekend I went 12-0 with these tactics in weekend league. Now I actually stopped at 12 wins because I didn't have time, wasn't feeling too great. But we got to 12-0 and it was very easy and very comfortable. We dominated every game. And it was just a great time. It was very fun to play with this formation. Now, in terms of the defensive style, we are playing on balanced. Playing on a press in this formation. I've tested this formation extensively now for sort of the last 3 weeks. And I've tried every combination. And these are the best. You know, you won't get much better than this. Now, I've tried all the presses. It doesn't work in this formation. It's too easy for your opponent to play out of the press. It's just not set up to press this formation. So playing in the balanced also gives you a bit of strength defensively, because obviously when you are defending you do have that back five, but it allows me to press and be aggressive with that back five, not just sit in and let the AI do all the defending for me. Now in terms of the width, we're pretty much on standard. 45 was just a figure that I settled on, and in terms of depth we're on about 55. Now we could push up a little bit higher than that, however, because we have the fullbacks and the midfielders are so high up the field and so aggressive all the time, they're pretty much always in the final third of my opponent. If I go too high, I'm going to get countered too much because of the way I have this formation set up. So I want to start a little bit lower to make sure my defenders, my back three, are a little bit deeper, just so they have a little bit of space to be able to catch up if my opponents do obviously utilize the space that I leave in behind. Now in terms of build-up play, we are playing on slow build-up. It works really well, suits my style of play very well, but also it's just very good at controlling the game. And I think in this formation, because of the way it's set up, because of the connections and the little triangles that you have in this formation, playing with that slow build-up works exceptionally well, because you know, playing with slow build-up works better in formations where the formation is a bit more compact, because it's more about sort of quick little sharp 5-yard passes. And you know, in this formation it's very easy to make those types of passes. Now, when it comes to the chance creation, we are on direct passing. Now, the reason we're on direct passing and not any of the other ones is simply because direct passing is really the only chance creation that works for this set of for this formation and these set of tactics. The reason why is because we set this formation up so offensively, you have to have direct passing. Now, it does mean that on occasion, especially in the fullback area, because we have Hakimi and Mendy, and then I sub Mendy off for the rule breakers, Davies. Those two get so far up the pitch that you can get left for counterattacks. You can get left open for counterattacks. So it's something you have to be wary of. If you want to obviously put the fullbacks to stay back while attacking, that's absolutely fine. You can do that if you want to have that strength in defensive. But for me, I use my fullbacks really well. It's one of my biggest strengths as a player this year. I'm very good at using my fullbacks. I know how to get the best out of them. And obviously when you've got two quick strikers, you always want them to be running in behind. And that's what we've got with the direct passing. And again, we've got the width on 100. Now, this comes from the fact that I want to stretch my opponent's teams out, because a lot of people like to defend quite compactly, quite defensively. So the way to break down a deep defense is to obviously use width. So we need to have width in our team. And this means that from time to time, I'm a little bit open in the midfield. And that is something that, again, there is every formation you have to give something. You know, there's going to be something that a formation isn't great at. So in this, I'm willing to give up a little bit of that space in the midfield, because I do a lot of my attacking up the wing. And that's something, if you are going to use this formation and these tactics, you do have to use the width, you know, because most of our team and tactics and setup is built to use the width. So with this 100th width, the fullbacks get forward so high, the strikers are always making those runs in behind, and it's just very easy to attack in this formation. Players in the box are on 6, corners on 3, just because I personally have a good corner routine that works quite well for me. If you don't, you can drop them down to 1 just to have an extra couple of bodies back when you're defending from counterattacks. Now, in terms of the instructions, we have got Son and Salah up top. Both of these guys are on stay central, and that is because we have the fullbacks going forward. So we don't want to have these guys really on balance width, because they'll drift out and get on top of the fullbacks, and then you've got no players in the box to obviously tap those goals in. So you need to make sure you've got those guys on stay central. And obviously, if you're going to be using pace, you want them obviously on both on getting behind. That is pretty self-explanatory right there. In terms of Firmino in that central cam spot, obviously you want him on getting to the box for crosses. Also want him on free roam. You know, when the fullbacks are getting forwards, the strikers are making runs in behind. You want the cam drifting around so he can link up the play. Sometimes he even drops into like a CDM spot. So sometimes that cam will pick the ball up off the back four. He'll pick it up off Verratti, for example, you can see in the defence. And he'll then take it forwards. The fullbacks are then getting forwards. And he's kind of driving the team up the pitch. So your central cam is very, very important to this formation and the success of this formation. In terms of the two midfielders, now we have them both on stay back while attacking. Now the reason why we have them both on stay back while attacking mainly is just to give us a better starting position when we lose possession of the ball. And it's not to do with attacking, because we have the direct passing on. They end up getting forwards and they end up driving forwards into the box anyway. It's more to make sure that they have a slightly deeper starting position, so that if I do lose possession, they're not too high up the pitch that I can't get them back into the game. They just have a slightly deeper starting position, so that when I do lose possession, I can still grab one of them, pull them across and get them to defend, rather than having to pull one of my centre backs out. But offensively, they do obviously get into the box. You know, they do get forwards with that direct passing. So you need to make sure that if you want to have these guys staying back and not playing as sort of attacking midfielders, so to speak, then you'll have to change off direct passing. But for me, this formula has worked absolutely flawlessly. The personnel is quite important. I've tried Nkunku in this spot and he's not good. You definitely need... before I was trying with Verratti and Kante before I sold my Kante, because obviously there's a big crash. So you want to have kind of good box-to-box midfielders. Defensive midfielders can work in there as well. But I find at the moment Pogba is sort of the player you want in there. You know, someone like that. Like a front Kessie would be, you know, that rule breaker's Kessie would be brilliant in this position. In terms of obviously the back three, of course, they're all going to be on stay back while attacking. And then the fullbacks, Hakimi and Mendy. And obviously Mendy gets subbed off my rule breakers, Alphonso Davies, because I just think he's a much better player than that Ferland Mendy. I don't rate him at all. We've obviously got him on balanced attack, these guys then. We don't want to have them on join the attack. We don't want to have them on stay back while attacking. Of course, we want the fullbacks to be getting involved in the gameplay. And I don't want to join the attack because it just makes it too offensive. I still want them back when it comes to defending. You know, when they're on join the attack, they do go too far up the pitch and they never get back, and it just becomes way too easy for your opponent to counter. So having them on balanced, pairing that with the direct passing, plus the 5 bodies that we have going forward, does mean that we kind of have sort of 7 players going forwards and only 3 back defending. But I still managed to kind of not concede really too many goals. Very rarely do I concede a lot of goals unless it's somebody who's just a better player than me. But I absolutely love these tactics. For me personally, this is the best formation. This is my favourite formation right now. And these are the best tactics for me personally in the game. Now, if you do want to try these out, do let me know down in the comment section how they go for you. If you do have a other formation that you think is better, then do also let me know down in the comment section. Make sure you drop a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. But that is all for today, guys. Have an awesome day. I'm out.